Well, there's a new major change to Social Security that we need to talk about in today's video, because this change is going to impact more than 1 million beneficiaries. Now you're probably wondering, does that include me? Well, it may, and I'll address that in today's video. You're also wondering, how much am I going to have to pay? Well, that's going to impact you as well. So I'll talk about that in today's video too. Now, here's the thing. The Trump administration is trying to do everything in their power to bring down expenses. And in doing so, there's potential cuts that they're making. One of these cuts is, again, going to impact us here in the United States. I'm going to address that in today's video as well. So, if you are currently receiving Social Security benefits and you are concerned that your benefits could be reduced or they may not be there in the future, then go ahead, hit that like button, and now let's begin. So, where are we at? Well, here's the thing. The Trump administration about 2 months ago came out and said that they were going to go after all overpayments. Every single overpayment that has been made by the Social Security Administration, they're going to go after it, and they're going to claw it back by 100%. That wasn't 100%, eventually, that was 100% of your monthly benefit amount could be taken back by the Social Security Administration that month. Okay? So here's what happened. Lawmakers showed their discontent. They showed their frustration that they would have constituents that really would have no money. They could not afford food. They could not afford their mortgage. This would set them further and further back. It would only make matters worse. So the Trump administration said, you know what? You're right. This is going to hurt more than 1 million people. Let's actually change it. And let's go back to the 10%, just like former President Joe Biden did and his administration. And let's put a pause on that for 90 days. That 90 days is up on July 24th. So starting July 24th, here's what we could see. Based off the new updates from the Social Security Administration, they are going to go with a 50% clawback, meaning you're still paying back 100% of the total overpayment, but at the tune of 50% of your monthly benefit per month. For instance, let's say you get $2,000 a month, okay? And let's say you have a $5,000 overpayment. What they are saying and what they've been telling us is that 50% of that amount could be taken back every single month. So you get $2,000 a month, meaning 50%, that's $1,000. And you have a $5,000 overpayment balance. That means if you pay $1,000 a month, it would take you 5 months to pay that off. All right. And then on month 6, your payment amount would go back to $2,000. That's the new rule that's going to go into effect as of July 24th. That's the earliest. Now, here's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. Number one is because the Social Security Administration made it very clear that they are going to look into more and more people that have been receiving overpayments. So if you don't claim the correct income, if you're working, you're not at full retirement age, and yet you're working, you need to report the amount of income that you're making so that the Social Security Administration knows how much money they're supposed to pay you. So that's one. The next one is if you are receiving SSI, okay? So if you got a supplemental security income, if you're receiving that, and yet you don't report a change in your rent or your mortgage, maybe you're now living with people, you have roommates, so your percentage of that rent actually comes down. Maybe you don't report a change in a job, the hours you're working, how much money you're making. Then those little things, those little changes, those updates will actually affect your payment amount. And the Social Security Administration is going to come after you. Keep in mind, between, I think, 2015 and 2022, I believe the Social Security Administration overpaid by like $72 billion. Okay? So they're trying to claw that money back. $72 billion is not chump change. It's a decent amount of money. Now, here's the reason why this is such a big deal. Because That was between 2015 and 2022. The Trump administration and the current Social Security commissioner, they're looking into how much were overpayments between 2022 and 2025 when President Trump got into office. That's the big question, because some are saying that the amount of overpayments is probably ridiculously high, but we haven't seen reports on that yet. That's something that the Department of Government Efficiency is trying to look into. That's one of the reasons why some lawmakers said it's a bad idea to open up this can of worms, because this could actually hurt millions of people. It could hurt the lawmakers that pass certain provisions. It could hurt the Biden administration, and it's going to hurt millions of people. Okay? So just be prepared. That's on the table as well. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what happens if I can't make the payment? What if I can't afford the overpayment, because then I can't afford my home, can't afford food and medications and going to the doctor? Well, here's the thing. According to the most recent update from the Social Security Administration, you can actually file a waiver if you cannot afford to make this overpayment, or you feel that the overpayment was made in mistake and it was not your fault, meaning that the Social Security Administration made a calculation error and it's their fault. If that's the case, they may actually approve the waiver, which means you would not have to pay anything back. The next one, they're saying you can pay with credit cards, you can pay using their online portal. And so I bring up this question because over the past several days, I've talked about credit cards and the usage that we've been experiencing, and more people are using credit cards. Well, with the Social Security Administration opening the door for credit card usage, in this instance, that's potentially another major problem. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with, I don't think this is the final change of Social Security. I think the Trump administration is looking at every avenue possible, because they realize that right now they are spending too much money. The Social Security Trust Fund will become insolvent by 2034 at the latest. There are many experts that believe it's actually going to become insolvent by 2032, or potentially and most likely 2033. So again, I bring this to your attention because these changes are not over. This is just one change. The changes are coming. They're going to be more frequent and potentially impact more people. So as we get more information as to what these changes look like, who they're going to impact, and how much money it could potentially hold from you, I'll keep you up to date on all those updates as soon as we get them. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.